I had a big script written about all the horrible things that happened when I was trying to get my house drywalled, but I figured let's not put that much whining and complaining out into the YouTubes, so here's a few things to look out for when you're getting your house drywalled. Nice of them to just like crush this thing and not tell anyone. Why would they trap an extension cord and crack the board by trapping an extension cord? Now I'm not even like boom, boom, boom. It's just like that's not me hitting the board. That's the board hitting the stud. So when I'm walking around, you'll be able to see one screw through the whole middle of the board. What you're supposed to do is glue the studs in the middle, and then you can put one screw in to hold the board up, and then you can screw around the corner, and then the studs with the glue will be what holds it to the wall, keeps them from rattling. But they didn't put any glue in. We'll pull it off and we'll have a look. Did they put glue there or what's going on? Oh, and they like used my tools and got them all gross. They cut the Durock because they didn't know what to do with the plumbing. Gee, you think that one popped, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one? They cut a little bit up around the handle because they had no idea what to do about this. Still missing screws here. These are still super popped. Missing screws there, missing screws. They didn't put anything on the edge there. Missing along there and along there. Yeah, up there too. Like here, they missed a stud. Here, they missed a stud. They didn't use any glue in the basement at all. Like, they didn't even pretend to use glue today. He even talked to them today and said, go slower because stuff is popping. And it's just like, whatever.
This is the worst professional drywall job I have ever seen.
What are you seeing?
Oh, breaks in gyprock. The mutters are gonna love that. Screws. Pieces cut the wrong shape. Really funky edges. I mean, look at this. I mean, that's just bad form. Nice work on the cut. If you come over here, we didn't cut this the right size, so we just forced it and broke the chunk out. I mean, I'm not a great drywaller because I don't have to be. I don't do a lot of it, and I don't do it in large areas, and mudding is pretty forgiving. But I'm better than this by a lot.
Mess everywhere. The guy will either stand behind his work and make sure it gets done right, or he won't. Okay, this is, they didn't know how these windows operated and they damaged it. That's what I thought. So they reefed on this window and bent it. They were reefing on that hard because they didn't know how to operate these windows. And of course, instead of asking, how do you close this window properly? Because they had it propped up with a literal hammer. They had a hammer up against the glass holding it up. So instead of asking how it works, that one came undone and then they bent this one out of place. And then because they didn't know how to fix it, how to close it properly, they gave up and didn't bother to close this one. Wow, they broke my Colt gun. And let's see how many places we can find where there's more than 16 inches between screws. That's 24 and a half. And there's nothing on this stud at all. Do you think we've got more than 16 inches here? Do we miss a stud here? Well, I don't know, did I frame 16 on center? I think we missed a stud here. Ceiling has other issues like that screw's popped, that screw's popped, that screw's popped. They got another one in there. That screw's popped, that screw's popped, that screw's popped, that screw's popped. They got another one in there, but like, you know, that one's popped. So that's gonna be my main concern with the ceiling. Nope, there's no outlet on this side. There is a clean out though. They just went right over that clean out. Well, let's have a quick look over here. Yep. How do you miss both clean outs? So yeah, there's a clean out somewhere here that they boarded up. Oh, look at this happy puppy. Hello. I want to get this piece off and then these two pieces off. There we go. Let's go with the top one first, because the bottom one provides support for the top one. Make it a bit easier to control coming down. Getting this back in place on my own is going to be fun. Yeah, so there's no backing here. Or, oh, there was backing here and they cut it wrong. So I had left this board with a 1/2 inch overlap this way, and they didn't cut the boards long enough. I knew I hadn't messed that up. If they had cut these to the right length and installed them first, they would have full support on this, and I wouldn't have to come back and install another 2x4. But because they don't know what they're doing, now I have to. So I don't know if you can tell, but this is like way up in, and it's overdriven. And what happens when you overdrive it is you tear through the paper. And what happens when I try to screw from an angle is I mess it up. Oh, I have it set in reverse. You can see this one, how much it moves. It shouldn't do that. So these three in the corner here are all a little bit proud. They all started a little bit proud, and you can see that this one, hopefully you can see, this one is dimpled properly and this one is sticking out above. So what they did was they just pop off the depth guide and they go boom. And that's how you get that one and that one and that one. How do I know that? Because I watched them do it. It might seem like I'm being a little bit nitpicky when it comes to saying, oh, screw here, screw there, miss that, miss that. That wasn't the problem. Overdriven screws are going to happen. The problem for me was that in my house, they overdrove 1/3 to 1/2 of all the screws everywhere. That's when it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem not when they cover up one clean out in a house with 6 bathrooms, but when they cover up, not saying that I have 6 bathrooms, but when they cover up every single clean out in the entire house, that says that they don't know what a clean out is there for. That's a problem. When they miss studs that are there for backing and then they end up not being able to get screws into the corners, that's a problem. It's not being nitpicky. I hope that this video gave you a few of the things to look out for. Missing screws, overdriven screws, trapped cleanouts, all that sort of thing that kind of says at the early stages, these guys don't care, they don't know, and you might need to find someone else.